I think this probably leads to the next topic that I want to talk to, is the toxicity that happens online with the cyberbullying, anxieties, and for me, time wasting. With social media, and you have a PhD in strategic communication. Is that correct?
PhD just in communication. But I teach in strategic communication.
Right. Okay. So the whole cyberbullying and anxiety and the way that we communicate with other people on social media, I feel like the fact that you have a keyboard in front of you and there's so much distance between you and the actual human being that you're involved with, it almost makes these interactions not real to some degree, but like very, very real. So for someone that's experiencing cyberbullying and there's just, or the person that's doing all kinds of bullying because of this distance between them and the person that they're offending, what are some good practices that you think would benefit on either side as far as communication on social media?
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of delve pretty specifically first and then kind of back it up a little bit. So women on Twitter, especially women scientists, and other kind of women in certain type of kind of specialties, specialty knowledges or professions, will be bullied and harassed a lot. The amount of kind of violence directed at them, via comments, the types of comments, belittling them, for women online, it becomes a very precarious situation often. And so, when I follow, because I tend to follow women scientists, because I am really interested to see how they navigate this kind of professional domain, but then also have to kind of, fight back those trolls and those bullies. So I think that they tend to either choose two options: get offline completely and just say they're going to focus their kind of professional work in other areas, or they're very active in monitoring their comments so that they report and block trolls. They report and block anyone that isn't appropriate, and they kind of push back when people are inappropriate as well. And I think then too, making sure that you have other allies on social media who can help watch out for you. And that's really necessary, I think, too, so that you're not just kind of alone in that online venture trying to stand up to those people that are looking to kind of take you down in many ways. I really think that how to address bullying, well, one, there will always be, people who do this. And what we really probably should focus on more is like in high school and college, really teaching digital literacy skills and also making them aware, of what habits tend to increase that possibility to bully or to taunt, and what one individually can do to kind of make sure that they bring it in for themselves, but then also see what ways they can make it the online experience better for others. But I do education the education piece has to be really important because we need to get more knowledgeable users out there.
Do you think that the social media platforms themselves are responsible in facilitating this bullying, or not, or is it just it's up to us, the users?
I mean, ideally, the platforms would take more responsibility. Ideally, the platforms would do more to protect the users, but I think. Content oversight, and that is a whole nother bucket of worms, and it's really an important issue that needs to be addressed. But what we're seeing is that the platforms themselves do not want to invest the time or money or resources in doing it well, and so they would rather take a laissez-faire approach and kind of let users do that work, but it's not often possible to keep everyone accountable. Yeah. So ideally, the platforms would do more. They're not.
Yeah, I feel like there's not to get into politics or anything like that, but like I think with TikTok in China for user under a certain age, they're limited to using the platform after a certain amount of time. And I feel like that kind of oversight, government oversight in the United States, given how we operate, I feel like that just will never be like a thing. But at the same time, you do want companies and the government to protect victims and of cyberbullying. So that is a can of worms. I mean, and a lot of discussion need to be had. Is there anything that you can add to that?
So, in my class where we talk and study about social media, I invite a social worker to come and talk to the class, and her specialty is on helping middle school students and high school students, and she often sees the negative effects of social media on their lives. So she tends to, as a social worker, follow this issue closely, and she says that the possibility of change lies in whether or not families who are suffering because of the outcomes of bullying. So, for example, if your child attempts suicide or if your child commits suicide because of cyberbullying, then if the families would sue the platform where those videos happened, where those taunts happened, that might lead to some change.